exciting to come back in after 5 years through a rough election. Some of you that lives in Missouri City know when you think about elections in 2020, it wasn't easy, and we're still hearing about it. But I want to, first of all, thank all of you in Missouri City domain that lives in the city limits for coming and to cast your vote for me. And then second time again to come back and vote. So I would not be here if it wasn't for the support of many of you that are at home that decided to come on out. I still remember during the runoff election, the polling places were 7 to 5 for most days. And most of the nursing would call me and says, well, Robin, that's not fair. We can't come out and vote. And I still remember there was 2 days it was open from 7 to 7 p.m. with one Saturday being open. So many of you came, as you can tell, as the story's been written, that I would not have won this office if it wasn't for the help of our Malayali community. And it is so true. So I'm very grateful for that. You know, getting back to nursing, I am also a product of a mom who was a nurse, worked as a nurse in India for so many years, and then getting to America and working here, at the VA hospital in Chicago. It's through her hard work, through her dedication, that also allowed myself and my brother to go through school because it paid the bills, trust me. So we are grateful and understand that the nursing community, not only my mom, but so many of you in so many families throughout this country that have only gotten the benefit through the nursing community at large. And I see Shyla Paul, who in New York, I had the opportunity to live in New York for a little while. And Shailendi has been one of those people that I'm so grateful that Tina and I got to know her for a long time. So it's good to see some of the familiar faces after a long time. And, with my message to the association is, in politics, as you know, that everything is about numbers. In healthcare, everything is about numbers. So for me, as a former healthcare administrator, I worked with HCA as well as Methodist Hospital in Houston up until 2017. We look at numbers. We crunch numbers. We are all about numbers. That's what the healthcare world and politics these days are. So I have some little fun facts for you to think about, and it drives into my message. In Houston, if the data is correct, this is the data that I got back in 2017, is about 68% of the nursing is Indians. And then when you look at overall Filipinos and other communities, it's about 76% makes up the nursing population in Houston, whatever capacity you're at. So that's a huge number. And then the rest, of course, Caucasians and every other race that we have. So with that being said, just to make a point, you are, our community, especially Asian community, especially serves the entire population of Houston, as well as I'm sure it's the same similar numbers throughout the country. And we are very gratifying to the community that we serve. We are a force that cannot be reckoned with. Understand that. And in 2020, you were challenged with the most horrific, in my opinion, pandemic with COVID. So instead of the United States Army and the Navy and everyone else becoming the front line, unfortunately, our healthcare workers, especially our nurses, became the front line of this war, as I call it, more of a biotech kind of war that we were not used to, we were not faced with, that we didn't know how to handle this, and now we're just getting the vaccine. But you put your family at risk, You had so many issues that was going on. So on behalf of Missouri City, I thank you sincerely from my bottom of my heart, and to say thank you for what you do each and every day to help others, and then also putting your lives at risk. About a week ago, or I should say a couple of days ago, I had the opportunity as the new mayor to have a press conference to talk about COVID and how it relates to Missouri City residents. As we were talking through that, I did realize, as a physician, medical doctor now for Missouri City, I did realize how much of a risk, as I hear him talking in terms of COVID, what you all faced this year. And I still think it's continuing to be a challenge next year. So my message to you all is, I'm sure you have a national organization, local, which is Houston, Greater Houston, and elsewhere. With that type of number of 74%, my thing to you is, instead of having the same programs every year and educating our community and making awareness, I would love to see some of you get involved in the state level as well as national level in the nursing world. Because I think if we make up 74%, well, we need to have some bargaining at the table. I think there are so many of you who are highly qualified, probably more than qualified, to sit at some of these governing boards and commissions for nationwide. As I got the opportunity to be the mayor for Missouri City, if I didn't try, I don't think anybody would have gave it to me. It was just something that you had to go after it. So, all of those who served in the past, the presidents, some of them I mentioned, Omina Simon and Mary Thomas and others that came, and I don't know everybody's name, and I do apologize if I missed anyone. But there's a reason why you started this. And I believe, especially now more than ever, the nursing community of Indian and as well as Asians needs to you need to have a seat at the table, whether it's mayors or governors or nationwide, to talk about some of your concerns, to address some of the issues that you're faced with, whether it's compensation or whether it's safety or whatever it is, to talk about, to get that. So I would challenge you, from me to you, is a challenge, and not a Facebook challenge, but it's a challenge that I think you will duly note it, that some of you that have an interest to emerge into these associations in the hospital settings and to make that change and to push your way through. Because nobody's going to give me or you an opportunity just because we have a number in population. You have to try. Do not be afraid to lose. I could have, for me, I was ready to lose. And that's just the way how it is. When you try for something, you have to know that there's only a 50% chance. But my heartfelt message to you is, we make a difference. You make a difference in your community, in your hospital. And it's time that we push ourselves into this country, because none of us, all of us, including all of you, all of us, including me, we're going to die here in this country, and we're going to be buried in this country. We're going to be part of this land, whether we like it or not. That is the fact. Very rarely in the 80s that we used to take our people when they pass away back to India. That's not happening anymore. So you become part of this land. So my humble message, however long I get to sit in this position, my message to every one of you, especially on the nursing side, is you have given so much to this country, to the people, and without looking at colors or who it is or gender or what party they belong to, you're out there in front line and serving it. So it's time that we push ourselves forward into this country to make sure that we have a seat at the table. And once we get a seat at the table, we make sure that we bring in others. Part of my job is also to bring in our community forward, not just to be the mayor and just say I was the mayor. I have a moral responsibility to make sure that, you know, INA and other associations that are part of it, you know, where we can utilize that part of that sub-organizations into the level of Missouri City or wherever that may be, so we can grow equally and communicate. So my last message is Happy New Year. I want to congratulate the new installation board of what you're going to do. And you heard my message, so I'm not going to say it again. And I hope you would push yourself forward. And to Miss Akama, thank you. You know, I would be on this call. If not, my wife would have me sleeping on the couch. So, so thank you for your push. I appreciate everything, and congratulations. And it's been an honor for me to be part of this organization. And I am leaving that door behind me, open all the time to the INA and to the Indian Nurses Association. For any time, you are welcome to come to Missouri City, and you have my most open heart and open door policy right here. Thank you. Thank you.